What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to your weekly messages and your weekly astrology and intuitive messages from Milwaukee. I don't know why I keep going to say that and it sounds very Leo rising, but yeah. Welcome to your weekly messages. For yourself, we have a pick a card reading here that we will get to here soon. And then at first I talk about the astrology and energy portion. And basically I just talk about what I feel is going down for the week for the collective. And then we get into the weekly messages for yourself. So anyways, this week is a pretty testy week, you could say. I'm sure some of you guys can already feel the energy. Future me here, I wanted to add really quick that it is really important. This was like the main reason I wanted to do this video and I completely forgot to mention it. It is really important this week to get shit done. Finish out anything that you need to do, because the first few days of February will start the Mercury retrograde season. Now, Mercury won't be going backwards until the 16th of February, but the first couple weeks it will go into shadow period, meaning that it's going over the place it's going to retrograde back over. So whatever you do the first couple weeks of February, you will have to go back to and revisit. So that's why I'm saying try to these last few days of January to get whatever you need done, to make the big decisions you need to make, to do the shit that you need to do, to sign contracts, do paperwork, change your appearance, whatever, because once February hits, after those first couple of days of February, we will be in Mercury retrograde season. So that's very important. Remember that. There's a lot of energy around relationships right now. And even though, like I always say, I'm not your average love, light, twin flames, and unicorns tarot reader or astrologer, I will talk about relationships if they come up, because let's just face it, relationships are a very huge part of our lives, of our purpose. Like, we literally have connections with people. Like, I'm not disregarding that when I say that I don't talk about like twin flames and shit, but I don't think that it's all about that. And I don't think that throwing yourself into other people and becoming other people is very healthy for one's spirituality, although some people are meant to walk that path in this life. So I get it. But if relationships do come up, which they are this week, I will talk about it. And the reason why relationships are such a big deal for everybody this week is because Venus, our girl, our sister, who stands for relationships, who stands for love, harmony, creativity, money, and all of that, is in Pisces conjunct Neptune. So this gives a very mystical relationship experience on its own. Neptune is the planet of mysticism. It is the planet of illusion, also delusion. It is the planet of sacrifice. It can also rule drugs, escapism, and like really far out artsy creative things. And so when these two planets get together, we are feeling very creative, we are feeling very inspired, we are feeling very mystical, because it's in Pisces and Venus loves to be in Pisces. But Mars is squaring this aspect. So Venus is opposite, which is Mars, which is masculine energy, and is all about our drive and our focus and our energy and where we put our energy into, is in the sign of Sagittarius. So Mars is basically having an argument with Venus and Neptune and Pisces. What I see here with this is Mars and Sagittarius, it wants to expand its ideas, expand its beliefs, expand its world views, but Venus and Neptune and Pisces wants to be very mystical and wants to create and wants to think about unicorns and twin flames. And Mars is over here like with a more philosophical view on the world, kind of in conflict with Venus and Neptune and Pisces. And so we can be feeling that energy in our own lives this week. Where are our where have we been maybe wearing rose-colored glasses when it comes to the relationships in our life? And it doesn't just have to be relationships with like a partner or a friend with benefits. Like, it doesn't have to be like intimate relationships, but it can be really any significant relationships in your life, relationships with coworkers, relationships with family, really any kind of relationships. And so Mars here has its own ideas about what the world should look like and how we should believe with our worldviews, etc. But Venus and Neptune and Pisces is kind of like, I want to believe in soulmates and believe in twin flames and believe in unicorns and believe in fairy tales. And so there's kind of like these two conflicts, Venus like wants to create and wants to get into spirituality in other realms, and Mars wants to think for itself. It wants to find the truth for itself. You could see some tension being directed towards spiritual gurus, spiritual teachers, some conflicts within the spiritual community. And I'm not just saying like here on YouTube, I'm just talking in the world in general. There could be a lot of beliefs that are kind of conflicted, and there could be a lot of things that are not making sense on a practical level, because what we have to think about here is the traditional ruler of Pisces is Jupiter, and the ruler of Sagittarius is also Jupiter. And where is Jupiter in the mix of all this? It's in Capricorn, and Capricorn is a very practical, realistic sign. It's not about bullshit. It's not about bullshitting yourself. And so Mars in Sagittarius wants the proof. It wants the truth. Venus and Neptune and Pisces is like blind faith in a way, is like kind of just believing whatever you want just because it makes you feel good, or just because it gives you some kind of an escape. With that being said, I feel like there's kind of a lot of tension rising when it comes to people's beliefs, when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to gurus, when it comes to fake gurus and whatnot. And really, we all have the potential, in my opinion, to be a guru. You guys that are watching this can do the same thing that I'm sitting here doing. Yeah, we all have an ego in this earthly realm, which gives us the ability to have our own individual kind of personality. So even if, someone else does what I'm doing, they're not going to do it the exact same way that I'm doing. And if someone tries to do something that is not true to them, that is just a lesson that they need to learn along the way. So that is kind of how I feel about it, but this could definitely cause some drama. And not even just like in the spiritual community or in like the realm of spirituality and gurus and higher education and self-help and all that, but it could cause drama in your own personal lives. It could cause drama in somebody having some really dominant opinions or some really opposing opinions to what you have that makes you question your own belief system, or that makes you take the rose-colored glasses off about something, or vice versa. You could do that to someone else. But this could definitely cause arguments, because Mars is aggression. Mars can be anger. Mars can be stress. And so this can definitely cause some change, because that square is causing change, it's causing growth. So this can definitely cause some change with the way that we view things, the way that we view the world, the way that we view our relationships. Are our relationships and the creativity, the creations that we are making, do they align with our own worldviews? Do they align with our own purpose? This is really getting honest about what relationships in your life are not aligning with your own purpose, because Sagittarius is about purpose, okay? Sagittarius is the truth seeker. It's the arrow, because it will shoot that arrow, and that arrow has no bounds. It can go as far as it wants to go, and that is a Sagittarius. It will go as far as it wants to go to uncover the proof, to uncover the truth about something. And truth is not necessarily universal. We don't all share the same truth. And that's why when it comes to the topic of gurus and spiritual teachers and people that may be faking it necessarily, they may not even consciously realize they're doing that, but eventually they will, and eventually they will learn the lesson from that. So I don't really like to look at other people as fake unless it's literally like they know deep down that they have, that they don't know how to connect to any of their gifts, and they're charging people money to basically tell them bullshit. That's the only time that I would say someone is like a scam artist, you know what I mean? If like they purposely were getting money from people when they obviously don't give a shit about psychics or intuition or whatever, if that makes sense. So anyways, but I think this is bringing some interesting topics up, and I think it is an interesting topic altogether because I feel like there is somewhat of conflict growing in the spiritual community and in our own lives, where we are starting to look at people like they aren't real, right? Or like they're not authentic, or they don't resonate with us anymore, or their truth doesn't resonate with us. Like I said, just because it's their truth doesn't mean it's necessarily your own truth. But it's also kind of making decisions. So Mars in Sagittarius, once again, that truth-like energy is giving us the courage to speak up against something, is giving us the courage to stand for something where we feel like we've been being deceived by people that we know, or by people that we trusted, or by our relationships. And so Mars in Sagittarius is giving us the courage to be honest with ourselves, and to be honest with other people, and to be honest about what we truly believe. And that's fine. You know what I mean? We can all believe something different. We're not all going to believe the same thing. I think everybody in the new age spirituality has to go through those first levels of, oh my God, I have a twin flame. Oh my God, I have a soulmate. Oh my God, I have spirit guides. Oh my God, fairy tales exist. It's kind of like that pink cloud of getting into spirituality. And I feel like everybody kind of has to go through that at one time or another to kind of come out on the other side and be like, okay, let me back up a little bit, because it can get as toxic. It can be the same thing as what you're doing outside of living a somewhat spiritual life, or just believing in, something that's going to make you feel better about yourself. Because at the end of the day, our belief systems are all comfort zones anyway. Like, we tell ourselves these things, or we want to believe in these certain things, or have faith in these certain things, because at some level it makes us feel better, makes us feel comfortable. But when you believe something because it comes from within you, that is more of faith, less of belief, because beliefs can change, belief systems can crash, belief systems can get torn down to the ground, you know what I mean? Belief systems can be changed, but faith comes from within you. Faith is surrender. Faith is understanding your connection to everything, understanding your connection to the earth, understanding that your connection is really internal and has nothing to do with the shit that's outside of you. It really has nothing to do with having a twin flame or having a soulmate or, opening your third eye. Your connection has everything to do within you. So I want you to kind of keep that in mind around this time, because I think things could get a little bit hectic, right? I think there's a lot of conflicting beliefs out there, and that's why I encourage you guys to always think for yourselves. And when you watch people or other readers or whatever, find someone that you truly resonate with, that you truly feel like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Because not every reader is going to resonate with every person. Not every reading is going to resonate with every person. Not even every reader is going to resonate all the time with you, right? And so you have to think for yourself. And this is why I don't do daily readings, because I feel like that's somewhat unhealthy. That is getting people to come to you every day to watch your readings in a way, having people rely on you for their answers instead of relying on themselves. And so when it comes down to it, always rely on yourself. And I was somewhat talking about this on my Instagram last night, on my Instagram story, about why I don't talk about twin flames and why I think it's somewhat unhealthy to constantly, because my suggestions are always flooded with who's your twin flame? Is this the one? Is he coming back? And it's just wow. As a society, we've gotten so comfortable in escaping our reality and wanting to depend on other people. And I get it. So if you're one of these people, I'm not bashing you for it. I don't want you to feel bad for it. Look at it as a phase that you're going through that you will be able to grow out of. It is possible. I used to be one of those people. If I was watching those kind of videos a few years ago, I would have loved those kinds of videos, right? Because I was looking for anything to escape my current reality. I was looking for anything to escape myself. Okay, and so spirituality comes from within you. It does not come from anywhere outside of you. It comes from within you. It is your own spiritual connection. And that is what we've been working at in my online course this month, because the material world can get very scary. It can get very hectic. It can get very chaotic. And like even just the way that we're born, like we are born to be dependent on other people when we are babies, when we are for the first 18 years of our life, which is why it is so important to do shadow work. It is so important to do soul work and work on your childhood, because yes, to a certain degree, we need connection. We need relationships. Like you cannot, like even if you're like, well, no, you don't, as long as you have money, but how do you get money? You know what I mean? How do you make money? You have to depend on other people. So there is like a healthy level of dependence, but then there is a unhealthy level of dependence, in my own personal opinion. You know, and if you are operating from a fear standpoint of trying to escape, not wanting to look at yourself, you can't even sit with yourself, you know, you don't feel happy inside, you don't feel peace inside, you don't have faith, and you just, you know, believe that someone else is going to fix you, is going to make you feel better, that can be unhealthy. As a society, like it's so weird. We're so worried about connection, but at the same time, we're so disconnected. And I'll share a personal story of mine. Like just yesterday, the reason why this video is late is because I had a dentist appointment. And I didn't know, there was no way I could have done it after my dentist appointment because I had to get some work done. And I was like, yeah, I'm all numb, like my face is like swollen, like I can't do it. And so basically I was sitting at the dentist waiting to be called back, and there was no one else there but me. And this older man walked in, he walked up to the desk, he checked in, and he sits down literally right next to me, and like the whole entire waiting room was open. And the chairs were really close together, so we were like almost touching. So he sits down right next to me, and immediately I caught myself getting aggravated. Like, really? Like, and I even thought about getting up and moving to a different seat. And I was like, why am I so mad about this? Like, and I really started thinking about it, because ever since I've been doing shadow work, I am a lot more self-aware, and I can address these things as they come up and really go into why that aggravated me so much. And I started thinking, like, you know, he's probably from a different generation that didn't have all the social media and stuff where they actually waved to each other, they actually talked to each other, people sat next to each other. It wasn't like a big deal. But we're so disconnected because we use the internet and our phones for connection, you know what I mean? That it like, that literally like made me mad for a minute. And then I started feeling bad once I realized it. And I was like, who cares if he sits next to me? And I kind of turned it around to like, why am I so mad about it? Like, that means that he didn't look at me and he didn't judge me enough to go sit across the room, or that he's okay with himself and he doesn't give a fuck who he sits next to. Like, I don't know, it really just got me thinking about how disconnected we are as a society, how much we try to escape our current reality, and how much we crave connection, but yet are so disconnected at the same time. And it's just very interesting to me. So anyways, this week, relationships are going to be a very big deal. Spirituality, what you believe, what you are willing to let go of, what you are willing to sacrifice. Are you willing to trust in the universe? Are you willing to stand in your truth? Are you willing to tell the truth about something? Are you willing to look beyond the veil? Those are the themes that you could see coming up this week. It's time to get a little bit more practical with Jupiter and Capricorn. It's time to strip away anything that is not authentic to who you are. And it's impossible to be 100% authentic, because guess what? Our subconscious hides things from us. We don't even freaking know who we are half the time, and that is okay. But the more that you do work on yourself, the more you align with who you truly are at the core of your being and in your soul level. So anyways, that is what I have to say about this week. Let's go ahead and get into the card reading. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3, and this is pile 4. I'm going to show you a little video of what they look like up close so you can kind of see them up close and personal. But yeah, those are the piles if you need a second to pause the screen and meditate on which pile you want, you are free to do that. If I'm like looking at all piles at the same time, like back from afar, I'll feel my head. If I feel any tingling or pressure sensations in my head, whichever side of my head it's on, I'll know like my pile's over on that side, and then I'll look closely at each pile for a few seconds and see if I feel anything. And then once I feel something, I pick the pile. But if you're working with your intuition, which really comes from feeling in your chest, but can also come from your third eye, you want to be able to feel and see if it invokes an emotion in you, or see if it invokes some kind of pressure in your third eye or in your crown chakras. So those are the piles, and definitely let me know which pile you end up picking down below, and if it resonates, there will be timestamps down below like always, my loves, and let's get into it. All right, pile 1. So let's see what is going on with you guys this week. I did draw a lot of cards because I've really felt drawn to draw a lot of cards for this week, because I probably won't be doing a reading next week since I am working on the February videos basically. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so pile number 1. What I see here for you guys, the first 2 cards that I want to go over is Focus on the Light, Big Bold Vision. So what I see here, like what these 2 cards are basically about, is there is something going on in your life where your attention is really being called to something. Your attention is really being called in a new direction, to something higher, something that is like coming from your soul. Okay, this could be a passion that you have, this could be a creative project, this could be like to do something different with your life, but either way, you are being called here to really step outside your comfort zones and do something different, because we also have big bold vision. Okay, so you have this vision of what you want to do, but for some reason you haven't taken action on it yet, and this would be the week to start. Okay, because that is really what I'm seeing here for you. So, and then we also have the womb and the judge, which also goes like perfectly with this. So, well, especially the womb. So there's something that you've been wanting to create. There's something that you've been wanting to bring into existence that you haven't done yet. It's just like you're this like missing space. So you really, like, the cards are really telling you it is time to create this thing. It is time to give life to something, because you have this huge vision, and like this is something that your soul is really like wanting you to do here. Okay, this is like no bullshit. So the next cards we have is Surrender Resentments, Surrender Effortlessness, and Surrender Unhealthy Relationships. So I think this could be what is holding you back. So there could be a relationship in your life, somebody in your life. Doesn't have to be romantic, but there could be someone in your life that's like basically been holding you back in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's all in your head, whether you're just thinking like, oh, they may not accept me if I do this, or whether it's somebody that's physically telling you like you can't do it, or they may judge you for doing it, something along those lines. So Surrender Unhealthy Relationships says, let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others, and to be surrounded by positive people. Then we have Surrender to Resentments. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep it moving forward to something more positive in your life. Then we have Surrender to Effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. So I feel like you're getting resentful because, or at least some of you guys are, remember this is a general reading, so not all of it may resonate, but some of you guys are getting resentful. Some of you guys are getting resentful because there is something that you have been trying to force, okay? And this really goes with the astrology portion that we had in the beginning, that I was talking about in the beginning with Mars, square Venus, and Neptune. There's something that you've been trying to force in a relationship that just isn't working out, and this may cause you to surrender. Like, you should not have to put this much effort into something that is toxic for you. That, you know, with the judge here, I feel like either you're judging yourself too much and that's why you're trying to force something that's just possibly not meant to be, or you're being judged by other people. I kind of feel like you know, either you're trying to force a situation to work out, a relationship to work out, or a relationship in your life is trying to force you to be a certain way, like I was saying in the beginning with focus on the light and big bold vision, and it's holding you back, it's stunning your growth. Don't let it push you so hard. Surrender to effortlessness, okay? That is what I'm getting so far with those cards. And then we also have the North Node, Aries, Aquarius, and the Sun, which once again really goes with everything. So the North Node, this has something to do with your destiny. Like, this is definitely, you are getting some kind of light from your soul. And when I say light, I mean like a message or like a push, like an inspiration, like you're being inspired to do something, to take action on something, to give life to something. But first, you have to address what's holding you back. And so the North Node is about having faith. It is about following your path, following your purpose, following what it is that you want to do. It's also about success and just really following your path, following your north. We also have Aries and Aquarius. So you really, once again, you need to take action. You need to take action. It may be something that's a little bit unconventional with Aquarius here. It may be something that's a little bit eccentric or something that you may have to experiment with first. But it even says on here, your vision, what's new and different, use an unconventional way, genius to experiment with, the discoveries resulting from the eccentricity. So once again, more signs of really getting out of your comfort zone, of taking action. Aries says your willpower, what you think and know about, do it on your own, do it your own way. Your desires resulting from the honesty and strength. So this is being honest with yourself. You know, there's something that you want to do in a certain way, but I think you're so scared to be judged for it. So you haven't birthed it yet because we have the womb there. And so either you have some kind of relationship in your life that's like stunting your growth, or there is possibly, this could even be a relationship from the past. And you're like, well, my dad always told me that I wasn't good enough or something along those lines. And so that's what has you been holding back, because there is actually a lot of, because the Sun can sometimes be the father, and we also have the Emperor here. So there is somewhat of like a masculine fatherly energy. So it could literally be your father or a fatherly figure, or even another person that somehow has the same qualities as your father in some way. But with the Sun, this is all about creation, bringing things to life once again. Some of you may want children. That could be it as well. Some of you may want children, but you're in a relationship where it's not working for some reason. So, and if that's the case, it's probably for a reason. So yeah, anyways, so yeah, the Sun is about bringing something to light, realization, and being a leader. Like, you're literally being asked to to take action, to lead your own purpose, to lead your own destiny, pile number one. I feel like you guys are probably going to be receiving some kind of message this week, or this could be just saying you need to speak up about something once again, because we have a lot of messenger energy. We have the Page of Wands and the Knight of Swords. So this is exploring your truth, speaking your truth, not being afraid to speak your truth, standing up for yourself, I feel. And then we also have the Messenger and the air element, which is like, there's definitely some kind of communication or some kind of messages coming in this week, but it's like, oh fuck. Because we have the card oh fuck, which is why I love this oracle deck. So there could be something where you're like, oh fuck, like I have to take action now, or I have to say something, or something comes in that kind of is unexpected or unknown. And that's what I kind of feel here with oh fuck. It's kind of like the unknown, like you can't, it's like chaotic, or you're not sure how it's going to play out. And then we also have the High Priestess here. So you need to trust yourself. You need to trust your own intuition, but also speaking up. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you've been silent for a long time and haven't wanted to speak up, to do this thing, whatever it is. Whatever it is, you will be successful, because we have the Ten of Earth, the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups. So as soon as you make that choice, as soon as you take action and you make that choice, you will be successful. Like, that's literally in the cards here. You just have to make that choice. And we also have a lot of threes here. The Three of Swords, well, the Three of Air in this deck with the Emperor. So I do feel like there is something. There is someone that is kind of dominant, that you feel somewhat like someone has power over you in some way. It could be a boss even. But I feel like you're like a little bit closer with this person, unless it's like a job, because we have the Three of Water reversed. So these are relationships that you need to get rid of. These are relationships you need to release from your life. Honestly, the Three of Swords, the Emperor, and the Three of Water, this is kind of like, and I hardly ever say this because it's so overused, but this kind of looks like a third-party situation. So it could either be from the past that is still haunting you and has caused you to have low self-esteem, or it could be currently, like, really, I kind of feel like it's in the past. Like, I feel like you know about this, okay? But you have to leave this energy behind. You have to rise above it. Even with the Emperor here, if you want to take it as you have to stand up for yourself. You have to set boundaries. You have to get control over the situation and do something, okay? Because if not, you're just going to keep feeling let down, lost, betrayed. You have to bring this idea, this creation, into the physical realm. You have to do something. Like, that's literally what I'm getting here. It's going to help you grow tremendously. So follow your vision. Whatever vision you have, like, the universe is like, go for it. But there's some kind of relationship here or something from the past that for whatever reason is coming up this week that needs to be released and left behind. So the last couple cards that we have here is fragrance clings to the hand that gives the flower. We have a comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. And we have forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. So this could definitely be about forgiveness this week, which is why we have surrender resentment, surrender unhealthy relationships. It's about forgiving yourself and forgiving your past. And forgiveness is not for the other person. It is literally for yourself, so you can be at peace, getting out of your comfort zone. And with fragrance clings to the hand that gives the flower, this is something that I feel like has clung to you. Something that has clung to you, and for whatever reason this week you're having to address it. Something that, you know, was done to you in the past or that you dealt with in the past, and for this week you have to address it in order to forgive, focus on the light, and in order to go forward with your own visions for your future, pile number one. So that is what I am getting for you guys, pile number one. Let me know down below if this ends up resonating. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we are going to move on to pile number two. What is going on, pile number two? This is for those of you that picked the second pile that I showed. So you guys have a lot going on this week, it seems, or for the next couple weeks, because I drew a lot of cards because I probably won't do a weekly reading next week just because I'm working on the February monthly reading. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. So the first two cards are Visions of Life Beyond Death and also Diving for Light. So this tells me right off the bat that you are being asked to face something, that you are being asked to face the truth about something and to see the truth about something that you have not wanted to face, that you have not wanted to see. I feel like maybe you've been blind to it. Maybe you you just didn't want to see it. It's like, but you know deep down, and you've been suppressing what you know about something. And then Diving for Light, which is number 11, is going through your shadow to get to the light, okay? It's almost like having to walk through hell to get through the light. And like, there's a quote, I forget who it's by, maybe Carl Jung or Rumi, I can't remember, but it is basically like, light is light comes through the wound or whatever. So once you like deal with your wounds, that's when light can shine, basically. And so that is kind of what I'm seeing for you here. So we have visions of life beyond death, which is number 44. We also have diving for light. You are awakening to something this week. Like the universe is trying to awaken you to something, and it's a harsh truth. I almost am picking up a vibe. It's like the Matrix. Like once you awaken to something, you can't really go back. And I feel that you're very scared about this. Like I can feel it. You're very scared. And remember, this is a general reading, so it may not resonate with everybody, or at least all the messages in this reading may not resonate with everybody. You can always pick another pile or pick more than one pile. But basically, I feel that you're very scared. You're kind of like once you, because you know that once you take the blindfold off, once you truly see the truth, that you won't be able to go back to pretending that you don't know anymore. And you're scared. It's like you want somebody to like almost help you see it, because we have the kiss here, which can very much so be about like, because when you first kiss someone, right, like you trust them. It's like this, it's tempting, and it's kind of like once you kiss them, you're like, oh shit, like now I have to, like, I hope I can trust this person, right? And that's kind of what I'm getting here for you. And we also have apocalypsis, which is also about seeing the truth, like anything that's not real kind of just falling away and really coming back up from the ashes. It's like being stripped bare naked and having to like really see the truth. And then we also have the South Node here, which can also deal with like stripping away in a sense. It talks about anxiety, trouble, there will not be, remember, reconsider, now is not the time. So it's kind of like a blast from the past, or seeing something that you couldn't see before, I really feel like. And then we also have surrender to your intuition, which says tune into your inner voice, be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. And then surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. So this is really asking you to surrender to that truth, to that knowing inside of you. Your psychic gifts could be awakening, and you may not like it because people that you saw as one way before may not be who you really thought they were. And that's really coming up for you guys this week. And then another theme that we have here is a lot of air energy. We do have a lot of air energy, but we also have a lot of water energy. With this water energy, we have the messenger of water, which we also have the Knight of Cups. So this could be to do with a relationship in your life, since we are dealing heavily with relationships this week. And then we also have the water element card here as well. So there's definitely some feelings involved here, either something coming in to do with feelings or having to deal with feelings from the past. And then we also have a lot of air going on here. So a lot of communication, a lot of being honest, being truthful with yourself. So we have the third house and Mercury, which both deal with communication, messages. We also have the 9 of air, which is the same as the 9 of swords. And we also got the 9 of swords, which is crazy. So we got the Knight of Cups twice, the 9 of air twice. It's like insane. So you're really stressed out about this situation. There's a situation that you're not wanting to see, or you're not wanting to communicate about, because you feel like, well, first off, because you're scared, because we have fear here, which is obvious with the 9 of swords as well. There's definitely a lot of fear here with something. But we also have the 5 of air, which is like, you know, and if you can see in this card, she's like wearing a mask. And so it's kind of like you're scared to come out about something, you're scared to be honest about something, and you feel like you're not going to win. You feel like it's kind of like a lose-lose situation, because that's also what the 5 of swords deals with. But we also have fuck it. Love that. And then we also have the King of Swords. So this tells me you're going to get to a point where you just get so miserable, or something happens and you're like, fuck it, I am owning my truth, I am standing in my truth, I don't care if other people don't like it, like I am owning my truth. Because we also have playing small does not serve you, and I paired that with the Emperor because that's literally the emperor, right? You need to stand up for yourself. You need to create structure. And we also have don't be like the rest of them, my friend. You're unique in your own way because, like, with visions of life beyond death, this is literally about awakening to your psychic abilities, awakening to your intuition, awakening to visions. Okay, so if you've been having a lot of visions or what seems like a lot of messages, your emotions are trying to tell you something. Your emotions are trying to tell you to be honest, to come into awareness, which is also about the visions of life beyond death. And diving for light is being brave. It is getting into the root of the problem, understanding the root of the problem. I also feel like there may be somebody in your life with the kiss and the Knight of Cups, the messenger of water, that you're not trusting your intuition on, which I think I might have already said. And we also have balance here. So I feel that you could feel out of balance in some way. You could feel like your emotions or your mind isn't lining up with how you feel. Like, so maybe you feel a certain way about something and you just, because you feel it, you know it, but you're scared to say something. Balance can also be a reflection in oneself, like so something outside of you reflecting something back, like a mirror in a sense. And so yeah, I feel like pile number 2, you guys are definitely awakening to something. But here's the thing, you're going to be so much happier owning your truth, because we also have the 6 of Wands and the Leo card, which tells me that you are going to be well received, you are going to be successful. The Leo card says self-confidence, to create, taking a chance, results from impressiveness, leadership, creativity, do what you want to. And so this is really like following your heart and not letting anybody else like stop you, not like letting anything from the past, because I feel like this is a huge karmic lesson for you with the South Node here. This is a huge karmic lesson for you. And I really feel like you're kind of being asked to not play small. You know what I mean? To not play small, to not be scared of this situation. You feel like it's going to be unjust if you speak up, or like it's not going to be fair in some way with balance and the 5 of air and the 9 of swords and fear, but you will feel so much freer for it. If you look at the butterflies above her head, like you will feel so much freer once you're just like, you know what, screw it. I accept that this could fall apart. I accept that, you know, the worst possible case scenario, I don't care anymore. I just like, I have to own my truth. I have to let myself awaken. I have to see what I haven't wanted to see. I also feel like with visions of life beyond death in the South Node here, like this is super karmic, like I said, but I also feel like this is somewhat related to ancestral karma even. Something to do with ancestral karma or ancestors in general. Maybe you should connect to your ancestors. Maybe you should ask for guidance from your ancestors in some way, because this is really about speaking up with all of this air energy. Like literally most of the cards are air related. And so this is really a struggle with speaking up, communicating, or even the mind. Something has you scared within your mind. You need to express your emotions. You need to let your emotions out, own your emotions, and not be scared of them. So that is what I am seeing for you guys this week, pile number 2. Definitely. Also, once you do this, you will be so much wiser for it with the owl here. Like you will feel so much wiser and you will grow so much for it. So by diving into the dark, like that is how you will get balanced. That is how you will get relief from this situation. So anyways, you guys, I love you. Thank you so much for watching this reading. Let me know down below if it ends up resonating, and we're going to move on to pile number 3. What is going on, pile number 3? This is for those of you that picked pile number 3. So let's see what is going on with you guys this week. Okay, so this is a lot of earth energy. So this definitely has to do with the physical realm, possibly money, finances. That definitely is what I'm getting here. Oh, anyways, you guys with the mystic and empty room, you guys are very mystical, but you're feeling empty. There's a lot of, you're very creative. There's a lot of things you want to do. You're a very free spirit, but you're feeling restricted you're feeling empty. You're feeling kind of boxed in for some reason. You're feeling like you're lacking in something, okay? And we also kind of verify that with spirals of manifestation and bring it into form. So there's something you've been trying to manifest, or there's something that you've been working on to do with the physical realm, and you almost feel like it just keeps happening over and over again, like you're not getting your turn, or it's not coming into form somehow. But with bring it into form, this is asking you, or this is telling you that it is coming. Okay, there is something coming, but you have to do the work behind it to bring it into form, okay? You have to trust, and it may not come in the way that you think it's going to come, or it may not happen the way that you think it's going to happen, which is why you may need to put some work into it. So, with Sagittarius, Capricorn, Neptune, and the 8th house, well, with that Capricorn energy that supports the earth energy, there's something that you're definitely trying to achieve. There's some kind of goal that you're trying to reach here, but you're not seeing something clearly with Neptune here. And then, you know, it could definitely have to do with, I really feel like this has to do with financial stuff or a job, security, something along those lines for a lot of you. That's really what I feel here. And with surrender obsessive thinking, it says, if you're obsessing about a person or a situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help you bring clarity or even solve the problem. So I feel like there's something that you've been obsessing over. Obviously, that's what the card says. So, and we also have 8th house in Neptune, which could kind of confirm that. And it could be money, a job situation, or just another person, a relationship. And I feel like it's because it's coming from a place of low self-esteem. It's almost like you are blocking your own success in a way, pile number 3, because it says you deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. And I definitely see that here. It's almost like you're your own worst enemy in a way. And then also with surrender the drama. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help you resolve the issue more quickly. So there's definitely something that's got you like aggravated this week, whether it's a person, a job, a situation, whatever. There's something that has you very, very aggravated that you can't stop thinking about, and it's like bringing drama into your life. It's like bringing chaos into your life, and so it's just blowing up more and more and more. It's like becoming, and it all goes back to your own low self-esteem. I really feel that for you. And also not trusting, okay? Not trusting, and just like, you know, almost being somewhat delusional that it's just going to happen. You know what I mean? And then with the 8th house here, the 8th house says personal powers, mysteries of life, a major change, a mortality issue, getting and using power, use other people's resources. So once again, financial stuff. And also with Sagittarius here, it says get out into the world, your highest ideals, insights to understand, wisdom, results from understanding. And so I feel like you're being asked to really face your fears with the 8th house here, to really face this issue of lack, this issue of emptiness, this issue of getting aggravated or feeling like you don't have control over a situation, because we also have the Queen of Fire and the 5 of Earth, which is like the 5 of Pentacles. So I feel like you have some self-confidence issues here. You have some self-confidence issues, you have some lack issues, and you feel like it's due to earthly things, physical things, where you feel like you're lacking in some way. We also have the 7 of Swords here, which kind of goes with the drama part. So you feel like someone or other people just like get away with things, like they can just do what they do and they can just get away with it. And it just, you know what I mean? And it really bothers you because you feel like you have to work really hard for things. Or you feel like you're having to work hard, but you're not exactly working hard. There's something here that you still need to do with bring it into form. We also have faith, which goes with that Sagittarian energy. And faith is not necessarily belief or expectation. Faith comes from within. Faith is surrender. surrendering to how things are going to work out. And I feel like that is your problem. You're so focused on the lack, or you're so focused on what is going wrong with something, or what something isn't, rather than what it could be. Or surrendering to ideas that you can't even imagine, ideas that are not even ideas, but a physical reality that you cannot even see. Now, I'm not talking about the law of attraction here. I'm not talking, because I personally don't agree with the way the law of attraction is necessarily taught to a lot of people, and I don't really believe that it's the law of attraction. I believe it's manifesting and witchcraft, which has been around for a lot longer, and it's just like an easier way to title that, and it sounds better and more scientific. But personally, for me, manifesting comes from an empty space. So instead of looking at the space as, oh my God, it's empty and I'm lacking this and I need to control this and I need to get a hold of this, look at it as space to create. Because that's where the creation happens, and you have the 8 of Pentacles here. So it's like, what, like everything that you want, everything that you've worked on is going to manifest very, very quickly. Pile number 3. I feel like if you guys can just get a hold of your shit. Basically, you have the Ace of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands, and the 8 of Wands. Shit's gonna come in quick, but you have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing and have faith, not belief, faith. That's the difference, okay? Having faith and dealing with the endurance that you've dealt with is going to bring a renewal. So if you're looking around, you're like, I've been trying to manifest a better job or more money, but I feel like I'm getting nothing, or I'm losing out, or things are not going like anywhere near that. It's because to bring something in, we have to make space for it. Okay, and that's what a lot of people don't talk about. And if you're like sitting there resisting it, or thinking it could only come in one certain way, that's where you screw yourself. Like, that is where you screw yourself. So we have the Fool here. Once again, you know what I mean? Faith. Like true faith, surrender, true surrender. Like surrendering to what's supposed to happen. Like, you're so worried about money because it affects your self-esteem. But once you surrender to it, you don't have to worry about it affecting your self-esteem. And if it's not money, it could be a job or a person. Or comparing yourself to others in some way. But you're really focused on your achievements this week and feeling like, I feel like you will surrender eventually, but it's really important that you do that, because with Neptune here, it's sacrifice. Okay, it's sacrifice in the 8th house, making space, dealing with your fears. Neptune says the idealization, confusion, sacrifice, inspires others. Be prepared to sacrifice. Yielding is the only way. So if you want something, whatever this is, you have to be willing to endure some things. You have to be willing to surrender. We also have, don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. That goes perfect. Do what makes you come alive. That is what the world needs. Exactly. So instead of focusing on the empty room, like I said, focus on what makes you come alive with the Mystic here. Focus on spreading your wings. Focus on what you can create and start creating. And surrender to the idea that it has to be now, or it has to be a certain time, or it has to be a certain way. Start bringing it into form. Okay, so that is what I'm getting for you guys. Pile number 3, let me know down below if it ends up resonating. And we are going to move on to pile number 4. What is going on, pile number 4? This is for those of you that picked the 4th pile. So let's go ahead and get into your reading and see what's going on with you guys this week, and probably for the next week too, because I probably won't do a weekly reading next week, just because of the February 2020 readings that I'm doing, and because I pulled a lot of freaking cards. So yeah. So you guys are going through a major energetic detox and energetic upgrade. Okay, so with after the storm here, I do see that you guys just went through a lot. You guys just went through a whole freaking storm. You guys took a journey to the underworld, to your own darkness, to your own fears, And with Thanatos, this is literally like the death card in the tarot. This is transformation, death and rebirth. You guys maybe had to deal with some of the wreckage from your past, had to deal with old threads from your past, but now we are coming out of the storm and into the light, which is amazing, and you're so much wiser for what you've been through. So with relax at the hold of darkness and be at cause, you either just recently went through or are now going through this week a huge energetic transformation, a huge energetic upgrade. I feel for you guys. You guys were like, literally, you guys like died and were reborn. You guys like just went through the ultimate self-undoing. And because we do have the 12th house and Pisces and Scorpio, like you guys just literally went through the most ultimate self-undoing, or are going through it now. And then we also have receiving, which tells me that you didn't just go through this for nothing, because we also have pain is never without gifts. So all of the pain and wreckage that you recently went through, and all these cards right here, these 3 cards have green borders. Like they all have different colored borders, but each of these cards has a lot of green. This one even has green on the border. It looks white on camera, but it's like a light green, but it does have blue in the middle. So this is like really dealing with your heart chakra, dealing with maybe issues from your childhood, shadow work, issues that you've had since childhood, okay? And you're coming into a lot of healing, okay? Pain was never without gifts, so you will be rewarded for what you've been through. Not rewarded, that kind of sounds not, I don't know, I don't like how that sounds, but you will, like the balance will be restored, because we also have temperance here, okay? And with temperance, the moon and the page of cups, I feel like there's literally like, you guys have like a guardian angel watching you. And when I say that, I don't mean like an actual angel. I feel like it's someone that has passed on. For a lot of you, it's a female, and it's probably a motherly figure, okay? Because we also have the Empress. We also have the Empress here. So definitely a female, very motherly energy, very nurturing energy. And even if it's like not someone that you like actually know, it's someone that it's possibly like an ancestor or something, okay? So yeah, there's a lot of rest, healing energy here, because we have surrender to rest and sleep, and we have the card rest. Okay, and surrender to rest and sleep says to prevent burnout, slow down, honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. And then we also have surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. So I feel like with the 10 of Pentacles here and the Queen of Earth, a lot of you guys, because the Queen of Earth and the 10 of Pentacles is reversed, okay? So I feel like a lot of you guys went through some financial stuff, okay? Where maybe you lost a job, or you've just been feeling lack, okay? You've just been feeling lack, like you don't have enough, or something that you had built from the ground up just like went crashing. Or even like a family situation that you felt stable in, something that you felt stable in and grounded in, like a solid foundation that you thought you had, kind of came down, okay? And it's saying that you're going to be okay, because we also have surrender worry here, which says make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arrive, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. So this is a very clear reading. You need to focus on your heart. You need to focus on how you feel rather than what you're thinking, okay? Because your mind is what causes us and is what causes you anxiety because of the fear, okay? And also I feel that you guys need to get creating, okay? Because we do have the Empress, and we do have the 5th house and Pisces energy, and the 12th house is even very creative. If there's been something that you've been trying to escape, stop, deal with the pain, okay? Let yourself feel the pain and let it go. I also feel like some of you guys have a big choice here to make, a big decision, because we have Temperance, we have the 2 of Air and the 2 of Earth. So this could definitely be a big decision that you're trying to make here, or just a phase of balance, phase of coming back into balance if it's not a decision. But if it is a decision, then that goes with that thing called intuition. It's your soul and you can trust it. So keep that in mind. Once you deal with the fear that is when the decision will become clear to you. Okay, because right now it could be a little distorted because we do have the distortion card. So you could be a little bit distorted, but this whole event that you guys have been going through has caused you to really become your own person, to really bloom into the person that you're becoming, which is beautiful. With the Page of Cups here, this is major healing energy. Working with the heart, getting creative. A new creative project is really going to help you deal with these things, okay? It's really going to help you come out of like the hard energy that you guys have been in. Yeah, let yourself rest, let yourself get plenty of sleep. Don't try to rush anything, slow it down. Really trust your intuition. If there's a choice you need to make, let yourself create. It will be fine, okay? I promise you it will be fine. As soon as you surrender the fear, everything ends up working out and you feel a huge relief anyway. You have the receiving card. So you guys are going to start, like the balance is being restored, okay? You guys have faced the shadows. Okay, I really do see that here for you. So let me know down below what you guys thought of this reading, if it does resonate. And yeah, that is all for the weekly reading. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the February 2020 videos. Bye.